What's up, family? Welcome back to another one. Desiree D. Ray Wise, spiritual healing coach here. Let me ask y'all this. Have you ever wondered what truly drives your dreams, your desires? Like, have y'all ever sat and thought about what is really pushing you to want what you want? And not only that, I'm sure y'all have thought about what it requires in order for those desires to come to pass. That's what we're going to be dealing with today. I'm so grateful to God. I'm so grateful to the divine for showering me with this insight about what we need to do to actualize our heart's desires. I'm so grateful to Spirit for that revelation. And because I love y'all, because y'all are my people, I want to share with y'all what has been given to me that is the path to our heart's desires. Okay. I want to share that with y'all because it's so good. It's so good when we know and understand what actually gives us what we truly want. And let me tell y'all something. I know you think you want the multi-million dollar house. I know you think you want to travel to all of these different places. I know you think you want that top paying job or business. I know. The reason why I know is because I want some of those things too. But as I've been sitting with Spirit on this, I've been realizing that the true desires of our heart, like the real ones, is peace, peace in our minds, peace in our relationships, peace in our homes, peace in our bodies. The true desires that we have is to live a life of fulfillment where you feel full. We're going to talk about that. Y'all ever felt full? You ever been out in life engaging with family or doing something powerful and your heart felt full, where you just knew that you were in alignment with the Most High? What we really desire is deep connection. But either way, what we're going to talk about today is how we manifest whatever those desires are, whether it is the finances, whether it is the relationship, whether it is the health and well-being, whether it is the family. We're going to talk about what God has been revealing to me about how we make that happen. And not even how we make that happen, because we don't have to make anything happen, right? When we're trying to make something happen, that is ego. So what we're going to talk about is how do we position. If y'all didn't catch my Miracle Monday video, the word of the week is position. It's position. And let me even tell y'all how this came about. So actually on like Saturday or Sunday, I think it was Saturday before the book club, I was hearing this gospel song that I used to listen to in love when I was in college. And the song is called The Gift. It goes like this. The gift, it looks good on you. It looks good on you. The gift, it looks good on you. It looks good. The gift, it looks good on you. It goes like that, right? The gift. I wish I could knew the other words. God has graced you and you wear it well. So that's how it goes. God has graced you and you wear it well. And it says, your gift is your grace. Honey, if that don't make your heart feel something right then and there, what's going on, right? But it said, your gift is your grace. Here's the part where Spirit got me, right? Where I was like, okay, this is a thing that's happening right now, energetically, spiritually. This is where I realized, okay, God, this is what you are asking me to understand within myself, but also share it, right? It says, for the gifted will make room. For the gifted will make room. Positioned for great men to see you. The gifted looks good on you. So That was Saturday morning. Woke up Saturday morning. That was the first thing that was in my spirit after I had meditated, prayed, did all of that. First thing that I started hearing was that song. And I listened to it, right? I listened to it and then I kind of like moved on, went to the book club, did what we do in the book club, had a good time, let it go. Sunday comes around, we do the visionary voyage, let it go. Monday, no, ooh. Sunday comes around. Sunday comes around. I'm telling y'all how spirit be aligning things and how we got here today. So Sunday comes around and I'm doing a consultation with one of our Patreon members who is in the accountability group, right? The accountability group is, if you're a part of that tier on Patreon, you get to meet with us once a month or twice a month, and we just talk about spirituality and we hold each other accountable. Well, this specific Patreon member I was talking to, I mean, she's a genius on her own. She has a very brilliant mind. And so we're just talking like girl talk, girlfriends, which is what I be doing with all my girls, right? And she brings up the word position to me, right? She was like, sometimes you got to change your position. So now I'm hearing that word position again. And then on Monday, right? On Monday, I said, okay, Spirit, what should be the word of the week? Spirit says position. Write that down. I want to say this was like Wednesday or something like that. Not Wednesday. It had to be Tuesday. So it was Tuesday. And I'm hearing the song The Gift again. But this time, the word position is what stood out to me the most. So the song was already calling out to me on Saturday. On Sunday, I had the accountability session and the word position was used, which set off an alarm in my mind. And then on Tuesday, I listened to the song again, but except this time, instead of focusing on the word the gift and grace, Spirit calls my attention to the word position. And position is so key when it comes down to manifesting and living out our heart's desire. Because if we can be in the right position, meaning our space in place in time, everything that we want will flow to us. Everything that we desire will naturally be attracted and aligned with us based off of where we have positioned ourselves. So good. And so I'm like, okay, Spirit, well, what is all of this about? What do I need to take from this? And Spirit said to me, and really reiterated, that your gifts make room and position you in front of great men. Meaning, the thing that you've been blessed with, the thing that you've been divinely enabled to do, the grace that the divine has extended to you is the very thing that unlocks the path to your heart's desires. So I propose this to you all to consider. Are you truly living in your grace? Which means, are you utilizing your gifts? If you are not and you're experiencing stagnation, well, that's why. A lot of times, y'all think about this in the spiritual community, a lot of times we feel like the reason why our abundance, our manifestation, the reason why these things aren't coming to pass is because the mind is all, the universe is mental, the law of polarity, the law of correspondence, and all of these things. We make it so hard for us to have that which we desire because we're like, we have to master all of these concepts. But what if the manifestation of your heart's desires simply relied on you deciding to live in your gift and your grace? What if it just simply relied on us choosing that every day we are going to operate our divine gift. That to me sounds like a win-win. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all, for me, when the divine was like channeling this to me, I just felt so much gratitude because I'm like, I can do that. I can do that. But you see, the challenge that we face is that society makes us question our gift, right? Society has conditioned us to not even focus on our gifts because society says, be the jack of all trades, right? Don't get stuck in one thing. Don't just do one thing because, you know, the world keeps changing, trends keep changing. Okay? So, let's talk about the gifts. If y'all want to talk about identifying your gifts and your grace and knowing how to operate it, or knowing how it is making space, making room, and positioning you for your greatness, if you want to talk about that, put a 1 in the chat. Let me say hey to y'all while y'all do that. Hey girl, hey Shakila, how you doing, sis? Peace, Matt Titan, my brother. Jenny, hey my girl. Hey my good sis Iman, I love you too, sis. Hey my love. Hey Mike. Hey Celestial Earth Goddess. Hi y'all. I hope y'all are having a great and lovely, lucky, prosperous Thursday. Hey Shy. Hey sis. How you doing? I hope y'all are doing well. And I hope that this message really inspires y'all and supports you in getting to where you are being called to go. You know, one of the graces, right? One of the divine grace that I have been able to receive is that of understanding spiritual healing, having spiritual eyesight, being able to recognize spiritual things, right? This is a grace from God, literally. When we look at grace, what that is, grace just means goodwill. Grace means kindness. Grace means favor. But grace also means a charm and an elegance. It's your charm. When you are tapped into your grace, when you are tapped into your gift, it's your charm. It's the thing that just seems so beautiful that you just do, right? It's just that divine enablement. And so, a grace that I have been granted is the ability to see things spiritually, right? And so, I remember, y'all, since I was a kid, I was able to see things in the spirit, right? I was able to decode things that were not being said, things that were not obvious. And to be real with you all, that's one of the things that has separated me from going to traditional churches, traditional Baptist churches. Because when I had graduated from college, I was still trying to find myself. I was like, okay, I know that there's more happening spiritually, right? I could sense and feel that there was something deeper than what was being communicated at church. And I remember going to the church, my childhood church at that. So the one where I was, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it, right, where I'm the little girl in the choir, right? I remember going back to that church and sitting and just observing and watching and being able to take what the pastor was saying and perceive it on a whole nother level, perceive it to a whole, a deeper, more spiritual, more profound way. And that was one of the things where I was like, okay, I'm going to have to do something differently because I've surpassed the spiritual wisdom that is being expressed by the head man of this church, by the shepherd of this church. So that was a grace for me, being able to have that understanding. And it has positioned me to sit before you. That's what grace will do, right? The grace that I've inherited through my ability to work through trauma, to overcome trials and tribulations, to not be burdened by my past. That grace that I've been granted is what allows me to come and have these conversations with you. Okay? I think about the gift of athleticism, right? And let me tell y'all this. Some of the gifts and the grace that you have is inherited, meaning you got it from your mama, okay? Or you got it from your daddy, right? Or your grandparents, your grandmother. Y'all remember that old song? I had a praying grandmother. Okay? So a lot of the gifts and the grace that we have that is meant to make space for us, that is meant to position us in places of power. That's all position means, right? That is meant to put you in a space of authority. You've been had it. You got it from your mama. You got it from your daddy. You got it from your family members, right? My mother was always that girl in the church, right? Like she come through the church just powerful, right? She come through like my mother is so like powerful, like literally she cast out demons. Like that's how powerful her prayer is and was, right? So I've been granted that gift and that grace through her. So I remember one time I went to a church because my first original church that I was at was, like I said, I had spiritually outgrown it, right? I'm sitting in this church and I'm like bored. And that's not the place. That's not how you want to be. You don't want to be bored at church. You want to be engaged. You want to be filled with the Spirit. But I was bored. So I started seeking and searching other places for me to go to fill up my spiritual cup, right? So I remember going to this church. Y'all have heard of it before. If you're in Houston, you've heard of it before. It's called Higher Dimension. Probably shouldn't have mentioned it, but it is what it is. It's called Higher Dimension. And at this time, the church was like a fashion show. When I tell y'all, everybody who's anybody was coming to this church, right? Everybody was coming to the church because they just wanted, you wanted to see the good looking men. You wanted to see the good looking women. The pastor was very well dressed, very whatever. Like it was a fashion show. You were coming there because you potentially might find your man at this church, right? So I kind of got caught up in that, caught up in the hype of the church, like asking friends what church you go to. And they say they go to Higher D. So I'm like, okay, I'm coming to Higher D. I remember vividly, I went to a Bible study. This was how deep I was trying to find myself spiritually, right? I go to Higher D and I am there for a Bible study. It's like a Wednesday Bible study, and I'm there. And they're in like this moment of praise and worship. And as this praise and worship is happening, y'all, I could sense this energy that was just absorbing all of the prayers, all of the cries, all of the energy. I could feel this succubus type energy. This was crazy, y'all. I was not even into spirituality at the time. I had spirituality in the sense that you all know it, right? I was not into all of the stuff. I was just exploring and trying to discover where I wanted or how I wanted to connect with God. But this energy is just like hovering above the front of the church. This is like when they're doing like altar call, right? And they're singing the songs. And I could just sense and feel this energy just sucking up and just absorbing this energy, right? That was a gift to be able to see that, right? That was a gift to be able to perceive that. And I truly feel it was a gift from my mother, right? From that inheritance. But I was able to take that gift and understand that energy is real, right? There are entities, spirits, energies that are really real. And that has helped me to be able to see and understand what we do now, how we work with energy now. Okay. Anyways, that's just a little bit of the gifts. But one of the gifts that I'm so grateful for that I have embodied is the gift of athleticism, right? I don't feel that athletic right now, but when I was in college, y'all, high school, super athletic. My athleticism had positioned me in front of dream. I want y'all to really pick up what I'm putting down. I played college volleyball, right? Played volleyball all my life. It was the thing that I did, right? It was actually who I was at some point in time, right? It was my life to be an athlete, which was a blessing. I loved it. It was a gift and it served me well, right? It served me very well. It still serves me to this day because a lot of the things that I understand, I can filter through the lens of playing a sport. But anyways, my sophomore year, going into my junior year of college. So yes, my sophomore year, it's the summertime and I want a job. I need to work while I'm at home for these 2 months. Because I had this athletic build, let me tell you how divine it was. So Spirit was like, go get you a job at 24-hour fitness. That's the gym out here, very popular gym. I go to 24-hour fitness, don't fill out no application, don't do nothing. I just go and I'm thinking I'm just about to talk to somebody, right? And I'm athletic. Like I have the physique, I have the body of I should be working here, right? So I go in and the manager happens to be there, this tall black guy. And he's like, oh, come in my office. Let's talk about who you are, da, 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 da. And so he's like, okay, what do you do? I'm like, yeah, I'm a college volleyball player. I play at South Carolina State. I'm home for the summer, looking for a way to stay in shape and still make some money. This guy says, no, South Carolina State? The head basketball coach there is so-and-so. I'm like, yeah, he's the head basketball coach there. And he's like, my son used to play basketball for him. Wow. See, I was the gift of athleticism. And so the coach asked me, he said, so if I call that head basketball coach there and ask him about you, what is he going to say? He's going to say I'm a great athlete. He's going to say that I'm coachable. He's going to say all of these things. And so the manager at 24-Hour Fitness, he did that. He called the guy at South Carolina State and asked about me. And my gift spoke for me. My gift of athleticism positioned me to be able to walk into this job, not interview, make the money that I wanted to make, still be able to exercise, but even deeper, the gift of athleticism positioned me to meet my soulmate. A lot of times we're like, okay, I want the love of my life. I want abundance. I want fortune. I want flow. I want ease. And we will do everything. We will take classes on love. You'll get readings. You'll do all of these things and not realize that it's one of the simplest things that you need to do that will align you with what you desire. And that is utilize your gift. Operate in your gift. You want to know something so divine? Is that the more we honor our gifts, the more fuel and the more momentum our gift has. So the more I come on this live stream and talk to y'all and share these things with y'all, the more empowered I become in that gift, the more magnetic that gift becomes, the more that gift makes space for me, makes room for me, the more that gift positions me in front of people that would help me to get to where I got to go. Everybody wants progress, growth, abundance, fortune, relationships. But we don't understand that these things come through who we are connected to. It comes through who we are connected to, who we are in relationship with. That is why your position is important. That is why being positioned in front of great men is essential. Because when you're positioned in front of great men, that means that you are in the presence of somebody who has access to what it is you desire. I heard this guy say this, it was so divine. He said, when God promotes you, he uses other people to do it. I wish y'all could feel me right now. Your position is important because when you are positioned in front of the right people, the right connections will set you up for your heart's desires. Here's a key. Here's a key. When you observe someone operating in their gifts, honor it. Because when you honor a person's gift, when you are appreciative, when you respect, when you encourage a person who is living in their gifts, you are fueling them. You are uplifting them. You are raising them up. And they will connect you to somebody else. Here's a great such a divine example. Neoshi, Hypnosoul Therapy. Y'all know her. Y'all seen her. So I came across Neoshi on Instagram, right? I came across Neoshi on Instagram years ago. This was probably, Kara was 2. Kara was 2 years old. We've been knowing Neoshi for a while now. Kara was 2 years old, right? And I came across Neoshi on Instagram, and I messaged her. I said, what you are doing is so powerful. Like, oh my God, how you are able to help people to see their past lives and see their spirit attachments and all of that. I just bigged her up. I just poured into her, and I just told her how much I appreciate the work that she's doing. So me as a person who is into the healing arts, I'm interested in all things healing, all things transformation. And what Neoshi is offering is a way of healing. So when I seen it, I poured into her, I affirmed her, and then I offered her, I said, why don't you join us on Sunday service? Come on Sunday service, do an interview with us, let us ask you questions, so on and so forth, right? I was honoring the gift that I saw in her because when I looked at Neoshi, I was inspired. When you get inspired by somebody who is living in their gifts, you don't keep that to yourself, because you sharing that person with your community, with your people, or with whoever you know can use that gift. When you share that gift, first of all, the only reason why you are inspired by it is because that gift also dwells inside of you. It dwells inside of you. So when you add fuel to the flame of that gift, right? Not only are you sparking them up, but you are also sparking, increasing the gift that dwells inside of you. So we bring Neoshi on Sunday service, and it's great. I vividly remember the weekend we had her on. We were actually in Galveston. We were at the beach that weekend where we had Neoshi on Sunday service. I vividly remember sitting outside of our hotel, leading the interview. Dream was watching the kids. We only had 2 babies at that time. Dream was watching the kids in the hotel room. I was in the hotel lobby, kind of leading that interview. But it gets good. It gets better. So Neoshi ends up meeting so many different people through that Sunday service, right? Her business takes off. She was already doing great. We're not taking ownership for her business. She was already doing great. But coming on to Sunday service absolutely added fire to her business, gave her a movement of income being on that Sunday service. Literally, she was like, anytime y'all need me to come back, I'm coming back, because tapping in with y'all, sales, getting it. But here's where it gets even better. So I'm looking at Neoshi's Instagram a little while later, and I see somebody else who inspires me. This lady named Phyla. Her name is She Is Phyla. Yeah, She Is Phyla is her name on Instagram, right? We're sisters now. But at that time, I was following Phyla on Instagram, and she's a healer too. She's an emotional wellness coach. She coaches women. And so as I looked at her content, I was inspired by it. I resonated with her message. Before you know it, I see that Phyla and Miyoshi are friends. They're connected. I'm like, oh my God, look how divine and synchronistic and aligned this is. Out of nowhere. Let me tell you how sacred this is and why your gifts make room and position you in front of powerful people. Out of nowhere, Miyoshi puts me, Phyla, another sister, and her in a group chat. She says, hey, you know, all you women inspire me. The work that y'all do is so important. I just wanted to connect y'all. I want us to do work together. So I have been following Phyla for a while, engaging with her content, liking her stuff, but not really knowing her on a personal level. But because how I honored Niyoshi's gift by bringing her on Sunday service and letting her express that gift to our community, she had me in mind when she wanted to connect groups of women who do spiritual work. So now me and Phyla are in the same group chat. And in that moment, I instantly honored her gift. So we're in the group and I say, hey, Phyla, I'm Desiree. Listen, I've been following you for a while. I love your content. You're so powerful. You're so raw. Thank you for what you do. And if there is any way that I can support you, let me know, because I see what you are doing and I just want to support it. See, a lot of times the reason why our gifts and our grace is not making space for us is because, one, we don't honor it, right? Through honoring other people who have the same gift. See, Phyla, Niyoshi, and even my sister Keisha, who was also a part of that group, they're healers, just like me. They facilitate healing just like me. We have the same gift, just a different medium. Okay? And so because I honored their gifts, now my gift is being increased. All right? So I tell Phyla, anything you need, let me know. I want to support you. I have to pour into you because I see myself in you. Okay? So she's like, oh, girl, yeah, thank you. And at first, because you know how strong Black women do, we don't, it takes some trust, and it takes some time, and it takes connection, and it takes loyalty for us to really feel like we can trust another woman with our sacred work, because this work is sacred, right? You don't want nobody coming into your classes, stealing your content and sharing it with everybody else like it was their original thought. Right? It takes time to build that trust and that sacredness. So I respected her when she said, oh, yeah, I will let you know. But time went on. But guess what happened? I was consistent. She was consistent. We were consistent in building the trust and letting our gifts lead the way, right? So a while later, she's about to do something new. And I told her, because I had a dream about her. I said, you need support. I'm here to give it out of the love. Not even, you don't got to pay me for anything. I am honoring you in this. Think about Jesus and the 12 disciples. They saw his gift, they saw who he was, and they decided to follow, to pour in to him, right? And this is what we have to do in our engagements with people every day. Be willing to have the humility to follow, to support, to uplift, to encourage, because all that is doing is increasing you. And so working with Phyla, she finally accepted the support, right? And so what I did for her was, whenever she was holding these women's classes. Actually, I supported her pretty intimately for maybe a year of whenever she's hosting a class, I'm online in the class with her, responding to the people who are doing whatever, the ladies who are asking questions. Once a week, once a month, I would teach her class for her, just loving on her community and nurturing her gift and supporting her. Do you want to know what that did for me? See, some of you may be thinking, you just working for somebody and y'all do the same thing? She work with women. She getting paid to work with women. You trying to do the same thing. You just da 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 da. Me honoring her gift fueled mine. Me honoring her gift made me feel confident enough to start womb alchemy. Right? I've taught womb alchemy to 10 different groups of women at this point. Before working with her, I was second guessing. I was questioning. I was like, oh, I don't know. How do I do this? Do I have what it takes to do this? But as I was a student to her gift, as I honored her gift, it empowered me to know that I can do it too. And then right after that, guess what? Womb alchemy, womb alchemy, like you can't tell. I can teach a womb alchemy class with my eyes closed. No PowerPoint, none of that. I can teach, and not even just teach. I'm talking about getting results, shifting how you think, how you feel, how you show up. Like, honey, I could just hear a woman's voice and know what she's needing spiritually. So when we honor the gift that we recognize in others, it increases us. Being positioned in front of Phyla, who is a woman of power. When I first saw her, she was a woman of power. When I heard her speak, she was a woman of power. Going back to the Bible verse, Proverbs 18:16, it says, a man's gift makes room for him and brings him before the great. Phyla, to me, at that time was great and is still great. So for me to sit in there with her and observe her greatness, right, unlocked certain things in me that has allowed me to now sit before you. When we're talking about our heart's desires, when we're talking about what we really want, it's going to come through understanding our gifts and understanding our grace. Your grace being, what is your charm? What is your elegance? What have you been called to do? And as we lean into that, and as we explore that, as we show up in that, God, the divine, puts us in front of people who will amplify us and get us to where we got to go. We get promoted financially. That's why they say it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. Check. It's not about what you know, it's about who you know. So when you are operating in your gifts, it puts you in front of who you need to know to get to where you're trying to go. If that don't make you say ashe, amen, yes, whatever, I don't know what will. Your gifts put you in front of who you need to know to get where you desire to go. Your gifts grant you favor. So as Spirit is giving me this over the last couple of days, I'm just like, my heart. I'll go live every damn day if I have to, sharing this gift, because if it means that I will be aligned with the people who I'm meant to serve, if it means that I'm going to be connected to the people that's getting me to my multi-million dollar deals, then that's just what I got to do, right? And then let me reel y'all back in. Okay, let me reel y'all back in, because I don't want us to get caught up on the physical aspect of the thing. Here's what you have to understand. Here's what I'm understanding. And this understanding is the meat and potatoes of it all. Our gifts are a representation of God that dwells within. Operating our gifts is us embodying and implementing the God force that we are. And so when we are in our gift and we are using it for the good of others, we are exemplifying the essence of God. And that's why it's so powerful and necessary. The operation of your gifts points back to the divine. Because when you're in your gifts, you are giving someone exactly what they need to know that God is real. That this divine essence, that this spirit, this omnipresent, this omnipowerful, this energy of unconditional love is real, because you just solved or answered somebody's problem. And that in itself is worthy of your heart's desires. You get to have your heart's desires because you are literally a walking, talking embodiment of God, and you share that force with the people around you. Because of that alone, you deserve anything that you desire in this reality. So Dream and I were watching a show last night called Dark Matter. It's on Apple TV. Okay, it's on Apple TV. I saw the show. I saw the commercial for it last night. Not even middle of the day, I saw the commercial for it on TV. And I just took a mental note. I was like, when Dream comes out of teaching his class, he's going to be like, oh, what we're going to watch while we eat dinner. And I'm going to say this show, Dark Matter. I didn't really even know what the show was going to be completely about, but when you are listening to your intuitive guidance, you're always going to receive what you need. It's always going to come through in the way that you need it. You're going to receive the insight, the downloads, the spiritual guidance. It's going to happen, right? So I'm open. I told y'all, I'm in a season right now in my life to where I'm just seeking the Most High, and I am just like looking for God and how this divine energy is really showing up in my life, right? And so it's happening through what I see on TV. It's happening through conversations with y'all. It's happening through engagements with my kids and engagements with Dream. It's happening in all of these different ways because I'm intentionally looking for that, right? So the show pops up and I tell Dream, okay, this is what we're going to watch, right? And so we're watching the show, and this show is so in alignment with positioning. Literally, y'all, this is how you know intuition is real, divine guidance is real, and you're always being communicated to. But the question is, are you listening? Because if you're listening, you can connect all the dots. Okay? So I told y'all I was hearing the word position since Sunday, and then Monday, and then Tuesday. Position, position, position. We watched this show, Dark Matter, and the guy is a physicist, right? He's a physics professor. He's a physics professor. He's teaching about physics. And he draws this box, and he has a cat in it, and he has other things in it. And he's talking to his students. He's asking his students all of these different physics questions. The bell rings, and the kids leave. And he was like, if you're wondering what I was talking about, this is called the superposition. So, when I heard superposition, my ears perked up even higher. I'm like, okay, Spirit, I'm listening. What's about to come through? What's about to happen? The guy continues to say, in the superposition, all things are happening all at once. What does that mean? I'm like, Spirit, okay. Because at this point, when Spirit starts dropping stuff on you like that, you get excited, right? So I'm excited. And I'm like, okay, give me more. Give me deeper understanding. So Dream and I start going into a whole diatribe on what this is all about. The superposition means that your heart's desires is already done. If everything is already existing all at once, the life of abundance, love, health, relationship, whatever it is you desire, it's already existing. We call this timelines, quantum realities, other dimensions. We had even talked about this in the book club, which again made it all come together so beautifully. What we're talking about is all of our realities are happening at the same time. Period. The reality that you are in is based off of what you are focusing on. Okay? So what I want to impart on you that this dark matter showed us, and y'all go watch it on Apple TV because we're going to be talking about it more. We just watched the first episode. Y'all going to watch the first episode because we're going to be diving into it, especially in the Patreon, right? We may do like a Patreon dark matter episode watch or something together. Don't know. When you are in your gifts, you are already in your greatest reality. When you are operating your charm, your elegance, your grace, your gift, that thing that makes you divinely you, when you are operating that, you are in the best reality. Because let me tell y'all what's the worst reality. A lot of times people think the worst reality is brokenness, illness. That's not even the worst reality, right? I know your human egoic mind may think that something like that is the worst. It's not. The worst reality is, one, not knowing why you came here. Two, it's not being able to fulfill why you came here. That to me is worse than all of that other stuff. Because that means you're literally a lost soul. To me, y'all may not agree. To me, not knowing my why, not being able to operate this gift, not being able to fulfill my purpose, just being here? No. Which leads to a whole nother concept of understanding. When you operate your gifts, you are granted grace, meaning the things that were meant to destroy you can't, because there's a calling on your life that you are meant to fulfill. What was meant to be your demise, what was meant to destroy you, what was meant to ruin you, ends up being the very thing that propels you, because you understand that there's a gift that comes from that. You embody it and you give it back. That's real. If you're wondering why life is stagnant, why things aren't happening the way you want them to happen, ask yourself, how often are you operating in your gifts? How are you honoring your gifts? A lot of times we're undermining our gifts, meaning we don't think it's special. And you're doing that because you're comparing your gift to somebody else's gift. And immediately when you do that, you're sending a message to your higher self, to God, that it don't know what it's doing, that the divine don't know what it's doing. That's unacceptable. So we got to stop undermining our gifts. We got to stop undermining ourselves. Okay? Another Bible verse I read, and I'm going to land my plane here. Another Bible verse that I read, I told you I've been reading the book of Proverbs. The book of Proverbs is the book of wisdom. It's the book of wisdom. And I read this Bible verse. It really stood out to me the other day. It said, a man's belly shall be satisfied by the fruit of his mouth, and with the increase of his lips shall he be filled. I'm going to say that again. Wish I could pull it up for y'all. Maybe I will. Let me see. This is Proverbs 18 and 20. Y'all better stop sleeping on the Bible. Stop being religion. Oh, you, honey. That Bible got some science. That Bible got some science that is like next level. Like for real. The stuff, the gems I'm picking up, I'm like, what? Like, what? So deep. So deep. I'm going to share my screen so y'all can see this, because I want y'all to see this. Because I don't know if my words are giving it. And if y'all could see it, that's a better thing for y'all. All right, y'all can see that. A man's belly shall be satisfied. Let's click on this one. A man's belly shall be satisfied with the fruit of his mouth, and with the increase of his lips shall he be filled. You know how I took this? I took that to mean, one, satisfied. To be satisfied means you're full. And that's all we want out of this life. Right? When we think about the words fulfillment, I am fulfilled in my life, means I'm full. If a man's belly is satisfied, he is full. Think when you eat food, right? Then you get full, your belly is satisfied. So when we spiritually look at what it means to be full, right? This means there's nothing lacking in your life. There's nothing missing. Your belly is full. Your heart is full. Your being is full. You are existing in a state of wholeness. That's what that means. You're full. Nothing is lacking. So a man's belly shall be satisfied by the fruit of his mouth. Now, the fruit of his mouth is talking about what you express, not just in words. Sometimes the manifestation of your gift is not just in words. It may be what you do with your hands. Okay? Do we understand? So what is this Bible verse saying? Right? Going back to the gifts, going back to your grace. When you operate in your gift and you operate your grace, whether it's through speaking, through encouraging, through healing, through coaching, through whatever you feel like your gift and your grace is. And I'm also going to tell y'all how to discover it a little bit, right? When you do that, you will be satisfied in life. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? When you are operating the gift, the grace that God has bestowed upon you, there is nothing lacking in your reality. You are full. Your heart's desires are fulfilled. This is the path to your heart's desires. And then it says, with the increase of his lips shall he be filled. So the more you give up your gifts, the more blessed you are. Y'all better pick up what I'm putting out. The more you express the divinity that has been placed inside of you, the more blessed you are. So whether it is the house, the car, the relationship, the money, no matter what it is, when you dedicate your life to doing it, why? Because you are dedicating your life to being a physical expression of God. When you dedicate your life to operating your gifts and being a physical expression of God, you are granted all that which you desire. And what's going to happen? Your steps will just be aligned where you end up in conversation, in partnership, in community. You just end up being at the right place at the right time with the right people that's going to help you to get what you want. Okay? Wow. If that does not make you feel good, it made me feel good. And I'm just sharing it with y'all because I want you to hold on to this. I want this to be, something that you think about and that you allow to really resonate in your spirit. Okay? When y'all see me doing more talking, doing more things, doing more pouring into people, just know I'm just focused on my heart desires, because I know that when I operate in my gift, the desires of my heart shall be mine. There's no other way. That's the promise of God. The promise of God. Proverbs 18, verse 16, right? A man's gifts will make room and position him in front of great men. That's something to meditate on. That's something to sit with. That's something to really lean more into. I want to give you all 3 things to look at to identify your gifts. And I'm landing my plane, like I just said. First thing, look at your parents. Look at your mother. Look at your father. What were their gifts? What were their natural talents, right? Because best believe you have inherited those things through your DNA, period. You have some of those things. And if you discover maybe your parent had a gift, but they didn't operate it, they didn't use it, right? That's okay. You use it. You operate it. All right. Number 2, understand that you see life through your gifts. You see life through your gifts. So the way that I observe things is through the gift that God has granted me. So even being able to come on here and have this conversation with y'all is based off of how I view the world, right? The Desiree that you see before you right now is how I've always been. I've just decided to not be afraid of expressing it, right? I got a homegirl named Victoria, love her to life, love her to life. But she views the world through how she can organize something, how she can clean something up, how she can make a space better. Whenever she comes into any space, she makes it better. The physical space, I mean, right? So if she were to come in my office right now and she were to see these books on the table, her natural inclination is going to be to straighten the books up naturally. Her natural inclination is going to be to organize things. So we want to be able to identify how we naturally see the world. When y'all are talking to me, I'm naturally seeing beyond your words. That's just how I view things. That's how my mind has been shaped and created. Okay? I heard a guy say, if you can identify a problem, but you don't know the solution, that's not your gift. Okay? So within your gift, you can observe something that may be a problem and you got the solution. You know what the solution is, or you may even have the ability to point somebody to the solution. So that still may be your gift. Let me get a check in the chat if y'all are getting that. Okay. How you view the world is an indicator of your natural divine enablements. That's you. How you see things, that's your gift. If you can see something and make that thing better, if you can see something and fix that thing, that may be what you've been equipped to do in this life. Don't second guess that, right? Don't second guess that. The last thing that you can reflect upon to determining your gifts is what inspires you. When you look at somebody else doing whatever they do you get this burning? Does it make you feel some type of way? And I'm telling you, it should feel like activation. When you're watching somebody do something, does something turn on inside of you? That thing that you may observe them doing that activates something inside of you may very well be a part of your gifts. Okay? That's my word for y'all for today. Listen, y'all got this. You deserve your heart's desires. You can have your heart's desires, but you have to know that you are worth it. And if you've tried everything, you've tried the meditations, you've tried all of this stuff, and you're like, God, why is my abundance? Why is my relationship? Why is my stuff? Why is it not happening? Why don't I have this peace? Try your own damn gifts. Try your own natural born talents. Try showing up in those things. It may make other people uncomfortable. Your family may look at you like, what is she doing and why? People may look at you like, you doing too much. That's not your business. If you've discovered that there is something inside of you that you are meant to do, or that you feel called to do, it is your responsibility to explore it. And let the exploration and the embodiment of that, let that open up doors for you. Let it open up doors for you, because it will. And it will put you in the right rooms with the right people who will support you and get into your next level. Okay? You deserve it. I love you. We'll be talking soon. Leave some questions in the comments if you all, have some revelations you want to talk further about in this topic. I would love to keep the conversation going. Drop a comment, a question, or a comment in the comments, and I'll be talking to y'all soon. All right. Peace, y'all.